My name is Luna. Born into privilege. I defied my parents' objections to marry Ethan. An ambitious man from humble beginnings. I even embraced frugality to support his career, entrusting him with our finances. That day, I returned early from Paris hoping to surprise him. The click of my key in the foyer lock was drowned out by feminine gasps. Ethan. You're so bad my hand froze midair. That voice, I'd recognize it anywhere. Sophia. Ethan's assistant. In the dim living room, two figures tangled on the couch. Sophia straddled Ethan wearing the silk nightgown I'd bought last month. You're amazing. Baby. You're going to ruin me. Ethan's large hands roamed her back. His voice husky. Come on. Scream louder. You little minx. My heart shattered. The suitcase crashed to the floor. They sprang apart. Ethan paled. Luna? Why are you back? Sophia draped a jacket over herself. Smirking. Shouldn't we be asking what you're doing? I choked out. Tears burning. Let me explain. Explain what? I cut him off. How this is a business meeting? His silence echoed. Sophia purred. Luna. The truth is Ethan hasn't loved you for ages. He says you're like cold wood in bed. The words slapped me. Is this what you say behind my back? Ethan? He stared at his shoes. I turned. Numb. He called after me but I kept walking. 3 years of marriage, my perfect love story had been a solo act. Neon lights blurred through tears as I wandered rainy streets. My phone buzzed. Ethan. I declined. Again. Again. Finally powered it off. Drenched. I stumbled into a convenience store. Miss? Are you okay? The clerk asked. I bought whiskey. Drinking on the wet steps. Memories flooded, meeting Ethan at my college fashion show. He'd been the judge who launched my career. From intern to designer. Lovers to spouses. I'd imagined growing old together. The phone lit up again. Grace. My best friend. Luna. Where are you? Ethan's going crazy looking for you. What do you want from me? To humiliate me again? He said he needs to talk to you. Asked me to convince you to come home. Home? I laughed bitterly. What home? Grace stayed silent for a moment. Where are you? I'll come get you. Don't bother. I need space. I hung up and kept drinking. The bottle emptied quickly. My thoughts turning fuzzy. I lost track of time until a familiar silhouette materialized before me. Ethan stood drenched. Panic etching his features. Luna. Have you lost your mind? Sitting here in the rain at midnight? He reached to help me up. I slapped his hand away. Don't touch me. Let's talk. Luna. Please. Talk about what? Your bedroom techniques with Sophia? His face darkened. You're drunk. Sober enough. I staggered to my feet. Ethan. I want a divorce. Color drained from his face. What did you say? Divorce. I enunciated each syllable. We're done. Never. His grip tightened around my wrist. Tonight was a mistake. Let me explain. Mistake? My bitter laugh cut through the downpour. A mistake involving my house? My lingerie? My couch? Rain soaked through our clothes as he suddenly embraced me. Give me another chance. Luna. I'll fix things with Sophia. Fix how? I shoved him away. Fire her? Make her disappear? Forget it. I turned. Some words can't be unsaid. Ethan. Some acts can't be undone. He chased after me. You can't do this to us. I froze. Studying his rain-slicked features. That devastating beauty I'd fallen for 3 years ago. Convinced it'd last forever. Know what I regret most? He shook his head. Ever loving you. His anguished cry followed me into the storm. Luna. Don't walk away. But I kept moving. 3 years of love. 3 years of effort. 3 years wasted. My studio apartment welcomed me with stale air. The tiny pre-marital purchase Ethan always dismissed. Why keep this when we have the estate? Thank God I'd ignored him. The mirror showed a hollow-eyed stranger after my shower. I sipped coffee watching raindrops race down the window. My reactivated phone buzzed incessantly, 38 blocked calls from Ethan. Dozens of unread messages. The phone kept buzzing with his messages. Luna. Come home. Let's talk this through. I'm sorry. It was all my fault. Please give me another chance. Luna. I love you. The last text made me snort bitterly. Love? He'd screw another woman if he loved me? Let me walk in on that disgusting scene in our own home? I deleted every notification and blocked his number. The bitter coffee mirrored the acid churning in my stomach. Dawn tinted the sky when exhaustion finally dragged me to bed. But the memory kept playing behind my eyelids, Sophia wearing my silk robe. Writhing on our couch with my husband Ethan. The way their bodies moved together. Practiced and effortless. How many times had this happened? I remembered Ethan's constant business trips these past months. The way he'd stopped kissing me goodbye. All the red flags I'd willfully ignored. The doorbell rang at 6 a.m. Through the peephole, I saw Ethan slumped on the doorstep. Still wearing last night's rain-soaked clothes. Let him buzz. Let the doorbell ring until the batteries died. When I finally opened the door for lunch delivery, only wilted roses and a note remained, Luna. I'll wait however long it takes. Ethan, I kicked the flowers into the trash and shredded the paper. Grace arrived that afternoon. Taking in my puffy eyes. Luna. It'll get better. She murmured. Pulling me into a hug. Grace. Tell me honestly, was I blind? 3 years. My voice cracked. 3 years and I never suspected. Even the sharpest women get blindsided. Grace sighed. Brewing chamomile tea. Especially wives. We want to believe. When she asked about divorce plans, I didn't hesitate. I'm contacting Emily first thing tomorrow. Are you certain? Ethan worships you. Worship? I cut her off. You didn't see them. Grace. You didn't hear the things Sophia said about our bedroom. She grew quiet. He's still denying everything. Claims there's an explanation. My laugh tasted bitter as yesterday's coffee. What explanation justifies catching your husband's mistress in your own living room? The next day, I went to the best law firm in the city. A female attorney named Emily Harper met with me. MS. Luna. I understand your situation. Emily adjusted her glasses. Having evidence of infidelity would strengthen your divorce case. Does eyewitness testimony count? Verbal accounts have limited legal weight. Physical evidence like recordings or documentation would be better. I nodded. How long does divorce proceedings take? If uncontested. About a month. For contested divorces, expect several months. Regarding asset division, your pre-marital property remains yours. Marital assets typically split equally. Though fault-based claims could increase your share. Leaving the firm, I felt lighter with clear direction. Back at my studio, I began organizing 3 years of financial records. After marriage, Ethan had insisted on managing our finances, my paychecks and bank cards all handed over. It shows trust. He'd said. Pathetic in hindsight. Online banking showed only $200,000 in my accounts. Though my 3-year earnings exceeded $1 million. Where was the rest? Bank statements revealed frequent large transfers to an account named Sophia. Sophia? My hands trembled. Was Ethan funding his mistress with my money? The paper trail grew uglier, Sophia's rent. Luxury shopping sprees. Vacations. Even her designer accessories all paid from my earnings. For 3 years, I'd scrimped while he showered another woman with my money. Making the wife bankroll his mistress? Unthinkable. Shaking with rage, I nearly called Ethan before stopping mid-dial. No, if he wanted war, I'd fight smarter. I screenshot every transaction as evidence, emailing them to Emily. Her swift reply, crucial evidence. MS. Luna. Freeze joint assets immediately to prevent dissipation. By 5 p.m., I'd secured asset preservation at the bank. Driving past Ethan's office, I spotted his Rolls-Royce parked beside Sophia's red Mini. Still together. I photographed them, circumstantial but suggestive. As I lingered, they emerged laughing arm in arm like lovers. Sophia clung to Ethan's arm with possessive ease. Watching from my car, I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles whitened. My heart was a whirlwind of emotions. Once, I used to walk arm in arm with Ethan like that. Once, he'd gaze at me with that same tenderness. Now, all of it belonged to another woman. They got into Ethan's car, and I followed. The vehicle stopped at an upscale gated community in the West District. From a distance, I watched them enter an apartment building. This must be Sophia's residence. I waited at the community gates for 2 hours before Ethan finally emerged alone. So they were truly living together. Or rather, Ethan had rented Sophia an apartment using my money. I snapped more photos before driving home. On the way, I called Grace. Grace, guess what I discovered? What? Ethan's not just cheating, he's funding his mistress with our money. Silence hung for several seconds. Luna, are you certain? Bank statements don't lie. I recounted the day's events. When I finished, Grace exploded, that bastard. This is too much. I know. You need to make him pay. Luna. I will. Hanging up. I pulled into my studio's parking lot. As I approached the building, Ethan's car materialized at the curb. He strode toward me. Luna. We need to talk. Nothing left to discuss. I kept walking toward the entrance. He followed. You can't keep shutting me out. Can't I? I paused on the stairwell landing, turning to face him. For 2 days. You've ignored me. Why should I acknowledge you? Because we're married. Married? My bitter laugh echoed in the concrete space. You remember that vow now, Ethan? His mouth snapped shut. Did our marriage cross your mind while betting Sophia? While funneling my assets to her? Color drained from his face. What are you implying? Implying? I thrust my phone showing transaction records at him. Explain these transfers to Snowflake then. The blood left his face completely. Luna. Let me explain. Explain what? My voice cracked. How you bankrolled your mistress. How you turned me into your personal ATM. It's not like that. He shook his head violently. Sophia's family needed help. I was just what? Disbelief choked me. You stole from our accounts to fund your lover's lifestyle. And call it charity? Luna. Please, I'm perfectly calm. I pocketed my phone. My lawyer Emily will contact you tomorrow. Start preparing the divorce papers. As I turned to leave, his hand closed around my wrist. I won't agree to this. You don't get a choice. I wrenched free. This isn't about your consent anymore. Ethan. I'm done. Luna. We've been married for 3 years. How could you give up so easily? Easily? I let out a bitter laugh. Ethan. You're the one who abandoned our marriage. Not me. I never abandoned you. I love you. Love me? I jabbed my finger at his chest. Is this how you show your love? By cheating on me? By letting me walk in on that disgusting scene? By using my money to support your mistress? Ethan fell silent. Your love's worthless. Ethan. My voice turned glacial. I want no part of it. I turned and marched upstairs without looking back. His shout followed me, you'll regret this. Luna. I paused mid-step, turning to glare down at him. Regret? My only regret was ever marrying you. Back at my studio, I collapsed onto the couch. Every conversation with Ethan left me emotionally drained. He kept trying to explain but only dug himself deeper. The worst part? He still refused to acknowledge any wrongdoing. Helping Sophia? I scoffed to the empty room. Since when does helping involve sleeping together? Since when does it mean funneling your wife's money to another woman? Pulling out my phone, I texted Emily, please expedite the divorce filing. He won't agree to an uncontested split. The attorney replied immediately, on it. Paperwork by Thursday. I started packing my go bag. Leaving meant preparing for war. 3 years in the Shaw mansion had left countless belongings behind, personal items. Work documents. Mementos. I needed to retrieve them. But showing up meant facing Ethan again. Not happening. Scrolling through contacts, I called the Shaw family's longtime housekeeper. Auntie Zhang? It's me. Mrs. Shaw. Where have you been? Mr. Shaw's been pacing the halls every night. We're getting divorced. The line went quiet. Auntie Zhang? I'm here. She whispered hoarsely. Surely this is some misunderstanding? He slept with Sophia. Another waited pause. Auntie Zhang. Answer me truthfully, did that woman come here often? Sometimes she. Yes. What did she do here? Mr. Shaw said she was his work assistant. Told me to treat her well. She'd cook his favorite meals. Organize his closet. The older woman's voice broke. It didn't feel right. But he insisted. I squeezed my eyes shut against hot tears. Sophia hadn't just shared Ethan's bed, she'd been playing house in mine. And yet the true lady of this house, had been kept completely in the dark. Auntie Zhang. Thank you for telling me this. Madam. Please don't be upset. There might be some misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. I interrupted. Taking a deep breath. I'll come collect my belongings tomorrow. If Ethan is home. Could you help distract him? The housekeeper hesitated. Auntie Zhang. I pleaded. Please do this last favor for me? After a long pause. She finally replied. Mr. Shaw has an executive meeting tomorrow at 10. Come then. Hanging up. I finally let the tears fall. Even our housekeeper had known about Sophia's transgressions in my own home while I remained oblivious. What kind of pathetic wife was I? When Grace arrived that evening bearing soup dumplings and hot and sour soup, I choked out. Tell me honestly, am I the biggest fool alive? Don't you dare say that. She gripped my hands. They're master manipulators. Last month I saw them at Nordstrom acting like newlyweds picking out lingerie. I should have warned you sooner. I numbly shook my head. The real failure was mine, 3 years of marriage. Yet I'd never noticed how Ethan's work meetings always coincided with Sophia's late-night documents review. The next morning found me standing before the Shaw estate's wrought iron gates precisely at 10. As promised. Ethan's Mercedes was absent. Auntie Zhang answered with red-rimmed eyes. Let me help you pack. Madam. I'll manage. I said. Already walking past her. The grand foyer's crystal chandelier cast rainbows across family photos I now recognized as hollow props. In the master suite. Designer gowns Ethan had selected to match your eyes hung like expensive ghosts. My hands trembled as I folded practical sweaters. Leaving behind the diamond-encrusted handbags Sophia had likely already claimed. Downstairs. Auntie Zhang pressed a manila envelope into my hands. Security footage from last month's incident. The young Miss Winters accidentally left her pearls in the library. The USB drive weighed heavy in my purse. For the first time in weeks. I stood straight. Let Ethan keep his silk ties and custom suits. I carried something far more valuable, the truth. Since I won't need these clothes anymore anyway. While packing my cosmetics, I found a box of birth control pills in the drawer. Not mine. I've never taken them because Ethan always said he wanted children. We've been married 3 years. Actively trying. Yet nothing. Turns out someone's been secretly taking them. Sophia. She didn't want to get pregnant. Hid the pills in my drawer. If Ethan found them, he'd think I was the one avoiding pregnancy. That woman's calculated. I snapped photos as evidence. Then kept packing. In the nightstand, I discovered something more revolting, an opened box of condoms with several missing. Ethan and I never used protection because we wanted a baby. So who were these for? The answer was obvious. Fighting nausea. I photographed them too. Moving to the study, I gathered my design drafts and work files, my most valued possessions. The sound of a car pulling up interrupted me. Ethan was back early. Mrs. Zhang called from downstairs. Sir? Wasn't your meeting cancelled? Ethan's voice cut through. Luna's car's here. She's back? My fingers flew faster as footsteps climbed the stairs. He appeared in the doorway. Face darkening. Luna. What's this? Packing my things. I didn't look up. This is your home. A home doesn't contain another woman's birth control and condoms. My voice iced over. He paled at the pillbox on the dresser. Luna. Let me explain. Save it. I zipped the last folder. I'm done hearing your excuses. Ethan. Give me a chance. A chance? My laugh bit cold. Where was this remorse when I caught you too? Where were your promises to cut ties with Sophia? His silence condemned him. Now you want to talk because there's proof? I grabbed my bag. Too late. He blocked the exit. 3 years together, does that mean nothing? You gave your heart to Sophia. I was just habit. I love you. Love? I pointed at our bed. Love lets another woman sleep here? Lets her stay overnight. Lets you fund her with my money. His mute shame answered. Your love's worthless. Ethan. Shoving past him. I reached the hall. The divorce papers arrive tomorrow. Be ready. His roar followed me downstairs. You think you'll do better without me? Luna? Without turning my head. I said coldly. Nothing could be worse than having an unfaithful husband. Stepping out of the villa. I drew a deep breath of fresh air. Finally free. Though my heart still ached. I knew this was right. A cheating man didn't deserve my youth. Back at my studio. I immediately emailed today's photos to attorney Emily. Luna. Will these work as evidence? Her reply came swiftly, more than enough to prove adultery. We have strong grounds for divorce. When can we file? Within a month. I'll await your update. After handling legal matters, I contemplated my future. Post-divorce, I'd rebuild my life. The Shaw family fortune held no appeal. I'd support myself. Most importantly, I needed to leave this city saturated with memories of Ethan. 1 month later, I sat in court wearing a tailored black pantsuit. Across the room, Ethan slumped in a rumpled navy suit, stubble shadowing his jaw. As proceedings began, attorney Emily presented our case. Your Honor, my client Luna seeks dissolution of marriage due to Mr. Shaw's extramarital affairs causing irreparable harm. She displayed bank statements, photos, contraceptive receipts, and irrefutable paper trail. Ethan's lawyer floundered against concrete evidence. When the judge demanded his response, Ethan rose unsteadily. I've made mistakes, Your Honor, but I love my wife. Please grant us reconciliation. Love? I surged to my feet. Your version of love involves cheating and spending my earnings on mistresses? The judge's gavel silenced me. Attorney Emily continued impassively. After 2 grueling hours, the court adjourned pending final judgment. Outside, Ethan intercepted me. Luna. Let's talk properly. We said everything necessary in there. His hand trembled as he reached for me. I'm begging for another chance. I stared at this stranger. Do you know what this month's been like? My voice cracked. Sleepless nights analyzing our 3-year marriage. Wondering if I failed as a wife. Luna. The truth? I cut through his facade. This isn't about my flaws. It's your fundamental lack of integrity. His face drained of color. You forfeited the right to love when you broke your vows. The final decree arrived a week later. Our marriage dissolved. With 60% marital assets awarded to me, legal entitlement per attorney Emily. Holding the judgment papers, I felt both liberation and melancholy. 3 years concluded with a judge's signature. As I packed for my new beginning, sunlight streamed through emptied rooms. No more lies. No more Shaw family dramas. Just limitless horizons waiting beyond these painful memories. From now on, there's no connection between me and Ethan. Returning to my studio, I began mapping out my new life. First came career plans. I resolved to quit my job and launch my own venture. With my skills and capital, starting an independent design studio was completely feasible. Next was relocation. I needed to leave this city haunted by memories. After much consideration, I settled on Hangzhou with its picturesque scenery and balanced pace of life. Ideal for entrepreneurship. I initiated resignation procedures and contacted Hangzhou realtors. Everything progressed methodically. Grace hated to see me go. Luna. Are you really leaving? I need a fresh start. I replied. But your friends and I are here, she protested. Squeezing her hand. I assured her, true friendships transcend distance. With modern communication, we'll stay connected. Grace sighed. Promise you'll take care of yourself there. I will. And check in regularly. Absolutely. On my final night, I lingered alone in the studio. 3 years of marriage replayed in my mind, sweet moments and bitter tears. Laughter intertwined with anguish. Now all relegated to the past. I harbored no regrets about the divorce, it remained my wisest decision. A woman's dignity and boundaries matter most. Ethan had crossed mine, making departure inevitable. Painful, yet necessary. Midnight brought Ethan's call. Luna. I heard you're leaving the city? Yes. Because of me? For myself. Stay. Let's try again. We're divorced. Ethan. That paper means nothing. We can remarry. Never. My voice hardened. Stop this. Don't contact me again. I terminated the call, powered off my phone, and removed the SIM card. Tomorrow would begin my complete disappearance from Ethan's world. 3 years later, autumn in Hangzhou dazzled with golden ginkgo leaves and osmanthus fragrance. From my studio's floor to the ceiling windows, I admired the view. These years had brought fulfillment. My design studio gained national recognition, with collections acclaimed at fashion weeks and international brands seeking collaboration. Professional success restored my confidence. Life without Ethan hadn't diminished me, it had allowed me to flourish. New friendships bloomed in this chapter. There are entrepreneurial comrades, like-minded designer friends. Anne. I glance at the framed photo on my desk showing me with my boyfriend Ryan Johnson. I met Ryan a year ago when he was working as an architect. Kind, attentive, loyal, and most importantly, he genuinely respects me. Our relationship has progressed steadily, he's already proposed. I'm still considering. Not for lack of love, but because shadows from my previous marriage linger. My phone rings. Ryan's name flashes on the screen. Luna. Dinner tonight? Sure. Where? That new French bistro everyone's raving about. Perfect. Pick me up at 6? Wouldn't miss it. Love you. Love you more. Hanging up. I smile. Cherished love. Thriving career. Loyal friends, this is the life I've built. My assistant Xiaoyu knocks. Luna. A Shanghai client is requesting a consultation. A Mr. Shaw from a fashion company. My pen freezes mid-signature. Shaw? Contact info? He's arriving tomorrow morning. After Xiaoyu leaves, I stare blankly at my mood boards. 3 years since I last saw Ethan. What could he possibly want? That evening, Ryan notices my distraction during creme brulee. Tough day? Complicated client. My ex-husband. His fork clinks against the plate. Ethan? The Winters Group heir? When did architects start reading business journals? I attempt lightness. He grips my hand. Luna. Let me come tomorrow. I need to face this alone. Promise you'll call if he. I promise. At 10:01 a.m. Ethan enters wearing a chiton suit that can't hide his new silver strands or the tired lines around his eyes. Time has etched his beauty into something sharper, more dangerous. Luna. His voice still carries that velvet edge that once made my knees weak. Mr. Shaw. I gesture to the Eames chair. To what do I owe this reunion? The citrusy bergamot of his Creed cologne mocks our sterile conference table as we sit. Two strangers performing civility. You look well, he said. Thank you. Ethan. What brings you here? I want to commission a custom suit. A custom suit? I frowned. Don't you usually wear international luxury brands? I want your design. I paused. Ethan. Our studio charges premium rates and has a full schedule. Money isn't an issue. And I can wait. Why insist on my design? Ethan looked at me with unreadable intensity. Because you're the best designer. I knew he was lying. Someone of his status could hire any top-tier designer. This wasn't about clothing. Let's be direct. I set down my teacup. What do you really want? Ethan remained silent for a long moment. I want you back. I figured. My response came instantly. Impossible. We've been divorced 3 years. I know. But I never gave up. Ethan. Is this necessary? I stood. We're done. It's not over. Not for me. He rose too. Luna. I've spent these 3 years realizing my mistakes. Mistakes? I scoffed. What exactly do you think you did wrong? I shouldn't have cheated. Shouldn't have hurt you. Shouldn't let you witness, and? My voice sharpened. You shouldn't have funded your mistress with our money. Shouldn't have let her stay overnight. Shouldn't have lied to my face. I counted each offense as his complexion paled. Your list is endless. Ethan. I've changed. Luna. Truly. Prove it. Sophia's abroad. We've cut all contact. So? These 3 years, his voice cracked. Every day filled with regret. I need you. But I don't need you. My tone chilled. I've built a fulfilling life, career. Friends. And what? Someone who loves me. Ethan's face drained of color. You're seeing someone? Not your concern. Who? He grabbed my arm desperately. You can't love anyone else. I jerked free. We're divorced. Ethan. My choices are mine alone. No. His eyes burned frantic. You'll always be my wife. Have you gone mad? I stepped back. Our marriage ended years ago. That paper means nothing. He advanced. Crimson-eyed. I've searched every major city for you. Do you know this torment? Self-inflicted. I was wrong. He closed the distance. But we can start over. It's impossible. I shook my head firmly. Ethan. Some things can't be undone. There's no fresh start. Why not? I'm truly repentant. Because I don't love you anymore. I met his gaze unflinchingly. Ethan. I have no feelings left for you. His face drained of color. His body swaying slightly. Impossible. You must still care. Why would I love a man who betrayed me? Luna. His voice turned urgent. Who's this boyfriend then? Do you truly love him? That's none of your business. I have the right to know. You forfeited all rights. My voice rose sharply. Ethan. You've no claim over my life anymore. The silence stretched until he suddenly laughed, a chilling sound that made my skin crawl. Luna. Do you really believe you'll thrive without me? I've been thriving 100 times better than when I was with you. Is that so? He pulled out his phone. Then explain this. The screen showed Ryan and me dining at a restaurant. You're stalking me now. Ethan? Merely keeping informed about your life. That's illegal. His smile didn't reach his eyes. Worth the risk. Luna. I've thoroughly investigated Ryan. My throat tightened. What are you plotting? He's just some small-time architect. Unworthy of you. Your opinion means nothing. Following him leads nowhere. He closed the distance between us. With me. You'd want for nothing. You never change. My bitter laugh echoed in the room. I need respect and loyalty. Ethan. 2 things you'll never grasp. I can give you both now. Too late. His jaw clenched as I continued. Final chance. Luna, won't you reconsider? Never. Something dangerous flickered in his eyes. Don't say I didn't warn you. What madness are you planning? If I can't have you, his whisper slithered through the air. I'll dismantle this pathetic life you've built. Your boutique shuttered. Your lover unemployed. Your reputation in ruins. You're insane. Driven to madness. He agreed with terrifying calm. By you. The door slammed behind him, leaving me trembling in my office chair. This wasn't the Ethan I'd known. The cheating husband I'd left would never have threatened me. This was someone monstrous. Fumbling with my phone, I dialed Ryan. Where are you? At the firm. What's wrong? Ethan came. He's threatening you. Us. What? Ryan's voice sharpened. Stay put. Luna. I'm coming to get you. I'm at the studio. Lock the doors. Don't move until I arrive. 20 minutes later. Ryan arrived. He immediately pulled me into a tight embrace upon entering. Luna. Are you okay? I'm fine. But I've been so worried about you. Don't be. I'm not afraid of him. Ryan released me. Luna. What exactly did Ethan say to you? I recounted the earlier conversation. His expression darkened after hearing it. That lunatic actually threatened you? Ryan. Maybe you should lay low for a while? What's there to hide from? He took my hands. Luna. I won't abandon you because of his threats. But I don't want to drag you into this. Silly. We're in this together. He kissed my forehead. We'll face him as one. Luna. But he's wealthy, powerful, so what? Ryan said firmly. Evil doesn't triumph over justice. Luna. That evening, we filed a police report. The officers explained Ethan's verbal threats weren't actionable without physical evidence. We left the station disheartened. We'll have to handle this ourselves. Ryan muttered. How? Monitor his movements. See what he's planning. What if he attacks you? We'll cross that bridge when we get there. He squeezed my hand. Trust me. Luna. He won't succeed. 4 days. We maintained vigilance. Ryan carpooled with coworkers while I avoided solo outings. Ethan seemingly vanished until the nightmare began. That Monday morning, I found a crowd outside my design studio. What's happening? I asked my assistant. Ms. Myers. It's terrible. Her face paled. We've been accused of plagiarizing European designers. Market Regulation Bureau agents swarmed inside, seizing computers and design portfolios. My stomach dropped. This was Ethan's doing. Inspectors flipped through my sketches when I stormed in. What are you searching for? Are you Luna Myers? An agent asked. I own this studio. We're investigating intellectual property theft. The complainant remains anonymous. I knew arguing was futile. Ethan would have covered his tracks. They hauled away 3 years' worth of original designs despite my documentation. Clients canceled orders as we shuttered operations. Alone in the hollowed studio, reality crashed over me. Ethan had made his move, and my life's work now hung by a thread. And he struck with a lethal blow. The phone rang. It was Ethan calling. Luna. Now you see what I'm capable of? Ethan. This was your doing. Wasn't it? I warned you, if you refuse to return to me, I'll destroy everything you hold dear. You're insane. Insane? Ethan chuckled darkly. This is only the beginning. Luna. Your precious Ryan is next. My blood ran cold. If you lay a finger on Ryan, I'll call the police. The police? His mocking laughter grated through the receiver. Do you really think they'll believe you? I have ways to ruin Ryan's reputation that even forensic accountants couldn't trace back to me. Why are you doing this? Because I love you. His voice softened unnervingly. Come back to me. Luna. And this all stops tonight. Never. Then don't blame me for what happens next. The line went dead. I immediately dialed Ryan. Get out of your office now. Ethan's coming after you. What? My design studio just got raided for plagiarism allegations. Ethan said that? Where are you? I'm coming to get you. At the studio. Within 30 minutes. Ryan burst through the door. His face fell seeing my disheveled state. Strong arms enveloping me in a protective embrace. We'll figure this out together. Luna. You should leave town. Ryan. I can't. Stop. His calloused thumb brushed my tear-stained cheek. We're getting married. Partners face storms together. Remember? His phone rang again, a colleague from work. Ryan. Emergency. The city inspectors just shut down our flagship project over alleged safety violations. Ryan paled. That project represented 40% of their annual revenue. I'll be right there. Hanging up. He met my gaze. Ethan's moving faster than we anticipated. This is all my fault. No. His lips pressed against my forehead. This is Ethan's sickness. Not your failure. Trust me, I won't let him win. Alone in the silent studio, I stared at my trembling hands. Ethan wasn't just attacking my career, he aimed to obliterate Ryan's entire livelihood. Should I surrender to his demands? Never. I wouldn't sacrifice my principles, or Ryan's future, to this twisted game. I picked up my phone and called Ethan. Luna. Changed your mind? Ethan. Let's meet. Sure. Our usual spot. The usual spot was the hotel where we got married. I knew he still clung to the past. 2 hours later, I entered the hotel cafe. Ethan was already waiting, looking sharp in his black suit. But I knew the darkness festering beneath. Luna. You came. He pulled out my chair. Ethan. We need to talk. I'm listening. I took a deep breath. I'll remarry you on one condition. His eyes lit up. Name it. Stop sabotaging Ryan immediately and clear my studio's reputation. Done. He answered without hesitation. Luna. I knew you still loved me. I don't. My voice turned glacial. I refused to drag innocence into this. His smile froze. Ethan. This marriage will be in name only. Meaning? Separate bedrooms. No physical contact. That's unfair. Luna. Walk away then. After prolonged silence, he gritted out. Agreed. Thus I became Mrs. Shaw again. My heart now ashes. True to his word, my studio received an official clearance notice the next morning. Ryan's projects resumed. But when he learned about the remarriage, his world shattered. Why? Luna? Ryan asked me with red-rimmed eyes. I thought Ryan? I'm sorry. I couldn't meet his gaze. There was no choice. There's always a choice. He gripped my hands. We could face him together. Run away with me, start over elsewhere. I shook my head. Ryan. He'll never stop hunting us. Then we keep running. He's obsessive. My bitter laugh sounded hollow. That man would burn cities to possess me. When silence fell, I delivered the killing blow. Let's end this. Ryan. Forget me. Luna, find someone better. I turned away as his anguished sobs shredded my soul. Back at Shaw Manor, Ethan awaited. Settled everything. Luna? At my nod, he approached. Let's begin anew. Ethan. Don't forget our agreement. I know, sleep in separate rooms. His expression darkened. But Luna. We'll truly reconcile someday. Never. I met his gaze. Ethan. I'll never forgive you. Why? I've changed. Changed? I scoffed. You forced me into remarriage through threats. That's what you call changed? I just love you too much. This isn't love, it's obsession. Ethan was left speechless. Our second marriage became a bizarre performance art. We maintained superficial marital appearances while living as strangers. Ethan tried courting me with luxury gifts, Michelin-starred dinners, and theater dates. I remained ice-cold. Every gesture of his reminded me of Ryan. Ryan bought me quirky trinkets I actually liked. Ryan took me to hole-in-the-wall eateries. Ryan watched rom-com marathons because I wanted to. Ethan gave what he deemed superior, Ryan gave what I truly desired. That was the difference. After a month, Ethan snapped. Luna. When will you finally forgive me? I told you, never. Then why continue this farce? Exactly. Let me go. Impossible. His jaw tightened. You'll always belong to me. Luna. Ethan. Why torture us both like this? Because. He closed the distance between us. At least you're still here. But I'm miserable. What would make you happy then? Freedom from you. Color drained from his face. Let's renegotiate terms. What terms? Give me 1 year. If you still resent me after that, I'll release you. Swear it? On my honor. Deal. I calculated coldly. 12 months versus lifelong liberty, manageable. Ethan clearly had other plans. Over subsequent months, he deployed extravagant gestures, mastering breakfast crepes, remodeling our penthouse to my aesthetic, even apprenticing at my design studio. Futile efforts. My heart had turned to ash. Or perhaps it still wandered wherever Ryan wandered. Though separated, his ghost lingered, phantom memories of his tender forehead kisses. The way he'd remember my coffee order. His unguarded laughter at 3 a.m. Sometimes I'd wake clutching my phone, fingertips hovering over his contact. But I always stayed strong. I can't drag him down anymore. 6 months had passed, and Ethan's patience was wearing thin. Luna, I've done so much for you. Can't you give me a chance? What chance? To prove you truly love me? Ethan, your kind of love is too heavy for me to bear. Why? Because your love is selfish. I met his gaze. Real love means respect, understanding, and granting freedom. Your version is about control, possession, and ruthless schemes. Luna, I can change. You can't. I shook my head. This is who you are. Ethan. Ethan remained silent for a long moment. Luna, do you really love Ryan that much? My heart skipped at Ryan's name. That's none of your business. Would you grieve if something happened to him? Ice crept into my veins. Ethan. What are you planning? Just curious. His smile turned sinister. Luna. If Ryan got into a car accident, would you rush to his bedside? Ethan. If you lay one finger on Ryan, I'll fight you to the death. Oh. His eyes glinted coldly. So he truly matters more than your freedom? You're insane. Maybe. His laugh chilled me. You made me this way. Ethan. Ryan's done nothing wrong. Nothing? Ethan sneered. He stole what's mine. I'm not your property. To me, you are. He closed the distance between us. Last chance. Luna. Will you choose me willingly? Never. Then don't blame me for what comes next. That night, an unknown number sent hospital photos. Ryan lay unconscious in ICU. Head bandaged. Face ghostly pale. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the phone. Ethan had actually done it. Ryan's phone went straight to voicemail. His friend confirmed through tears, Luna. It's bad. He's still in critical condition. Tears blurred my vision. This was all my fault. I grabbed my keys, only to find Ethan blocking the doorway. Going somewhere. Luna? Move. To play Florence Nightingale? His smirk made me ill. You realize this happened because of you? You monster. I screamed. What did Ryan ever do to you? Existing near you. If he dies, I'll hate you forever. Too late for that. I shoved past him, tires screeching as I raced to the hospital. They'd moved Ryan to a regular room. His eyelids fluttered open when I touched his hand. Ryan. The fragile hope in his eyes shattered me completely. Luna. You're here. Ryan. I'm sorry. It's all because of me, don't talk like that. Silly. Ryan smiled weakly. Luna. Seeing you is enough for me. How are you feeling? What did the doctor say? They said there's no life-threatening injuries. Just needs some rest and recovery. I gripped his hand as tears streamed down my face. Luna. Don't cry. Ryan wiped my tears. I'm okay. Ryan. Ethan did this to you. I'll make him pay. Let it go. Ryan shook his head. We can't fight him. No. I can't just let this slide. Luna. Let's report to the police. It's useless. Ethan never leaves evidence. The hospital door swung open. Ethan stood in the doorway holding flowers, his face wearing a plastic smile. Ryan. Heard about your accident. Came to check on you. Ryan's face paled. Ethan. You caused this crash. Didn't you? Don't make baseless accusations. Ethan approached the bed. Just visiting a patient. Ethan. You monster. I lunged at him. He effortlessly restrained me. Luna. Calm down. I can't. I struggled. Why would you do this to Ryan? I told you. I didn't hit him. Ethan's smile remained fixed. But Ryan. You should be careful. Car accidents happen so frequently these days. The unspoken threat hung in the air. Ryan turned ashen. What do you want? Ethan? I want my wife back. Ethan's gaze locked on me. Ryan. You should know better than to touch what's mine. Luna's her own person. She has the right to choose. Choice? Ethan sneered. Do you really think she has that luxury? Ryan looked at me with pained resignation. We both knew Ethan's threats left us no freedom. After leaving the hospital, despair consumed me. Ethan had gone mad, he'd stop at nothing to possess me. Ryan's accident was just a warning. If I resisted again, the next accident would be fatal. I couldn't endanger Ryan anymore. Ethan. We need to talk. Delighted. What's on your mind? I'll truly be with you. But you must promise never to harm Ryan again. His eyes lit up. You mean it? I do. But there's a condition. Name it. Give Ryan enough money to leave Hangzhou forever. Make sure he never returns. Ethan considered. Agreed. But you'll cut all contact with him. I will. Thus, I severed all ties with Ryan. Ethan paid him off. And Ryan relocated to Beijing. Before leaving, he texted, Luna. I'll always love you. If you ever need me, I'll come back immediately. I wept for hours reading those words. Ryan was the best man I'd ever known. Yet fate denied us happiness. Fate can be so cruel. From that day on, I truly became Ethan Shaw's wife. We shared a bedroom. And I worked hard to play the role of a dutiful spouse. Ethan was overjoyed, believing he'd finally won me over. But he never knew my heart had already died. I was merely an empty shell going through the motions of wifely obligations. A year later, I made a decision. I would leave this world, not through suicide, but by disappearing completely. I'd endured enough of this life under Ethan's control. These endless days without freedom. I needed to vanish somewhere Ethan could never find me. I began secret preparations. Using a fake identity, I obtained new passports and transferred funds to offshore accounts. Through a specialized organization that helps people reinvent themselves, I arranged my permanent disappearance. Ethan remained oblivious throughout, convinced I'd accepted my fate and that our marriage was thriving. To outside observers, we were the perfect couple. We attended galas together, traveled as a pair, and checked every box of marital bliss. Only I knew it was all an act. I waited for my moment to break free. The opportunity finally came when Ethan left for a 2-week business trip to America. That evening, I saw him off at the airport as usual. Luna, he said, take care of yourself while I'm in the U.S. These 2 weeks. I will. Call me if you miss me. He kissed my lips and disappeared through security. Watching his retreating figure melt into the crowd, I knew this was our final goodbye.